Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If black people knew their glorious past, if black people knew their glorious past, if black people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best
A
interest.
place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage. We are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
All right, welcome to another week of Manifestations 2020. Shout out to everybody that's been tuning in. We're coming to the end of the year, man, so you know it's going to be a lot of great things coming up going into the end of the year, plus the new year coming in. Tonight's topic, I'm sorry about the lateness. That's on me. I had some things to do last minute, but we're here now. But what I had tonight was fatal attraction, avoiding making the wrong choices. I was watching, sometimes I'll be in my house watching little Tubi movies and stuff like that, and a lot of times I'll be watching First 48 and all that stuff on Tubi. And I came across a show called Fatal Attraction, and I've been watching the show, and it's like it's kind of scary, right?
Yeah.
And while watching it, I just thought to myself, like, we really need to put some more PSAs out here because as we go and deal with people on a daily basis, we're starting to see more people that are very emotionally not stabilized. And we're encountering these people. There is no, we used to be so good at vetting and checking, but the nuances in today's world, dealing with extra mental health issues now, we're addressing it. We never did that before. Just even men checking on people's backgrounds now, are starting to see a lot more men doing that because that also helps them a lot. In the days, it was only women checking out men's background for safety precautions, but a lot of men are being very, very cautious in checking out women's backgrounds too in their situations. So I think it's very important for us to talk about this. So just a little warning, a little trigger warning, if anybody gets triggered by the topic or what we're about to discuss tonight, just wanted to put it out there ahead of time. But I think this is going to try to be a stepping process into the right direction so we can help other people to try to avoid making those wrong choices that a lot of times end up to be fatal. So that's what tonight's topic is all about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well said, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna let Bobby speak first because I don't want no problems. I don't know what's going on over there with this guy, so I'm gonna just let him have his piece. You know what I'm saying? let Bobby go ahead and get what he got to say off his chest. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fall back a little bit.
Just tis the season. I saw the flyer. I thought it was pretty entertaining. I figured may as well go ahead and get festive along with it. But yeah, man, always timely, and I don't think that it's. I actually think that all things given, this is typically a month where people let their imaginations run wild, especially in the realm of horror. But unfortunately, we live in a world where we definitely have a lot of offline horror going on, for real, for real. And we do live in a society where we do have people that, unfortunately, all the screws aren't screwed tight. Their elevators don't necessarily go to the top floor. And everybody is not exactly playing poker with a full deck of cards. So it behooves us to do our due diligence to drill down and make sure that the vetting process, because, we talk about this all the time, but that's just how serious this is. It's not just a matter of making sure the person that you're talking to likes the same color you likes the same foods you like, whether you're an inside the house person or you're an outdoors person. It's deeper than that. We're talking about understanding who this person is as close to their core being as possible. And that's difficult to do. A lot of us don't do that sort of due diligence ourselves. A lot of us don't know who we really are at our core. So how can we expect to find who somebody else is? Vetting is not a foolproof process. There's nobody that bats 100. If they do, you need to link up with that person, see if you can get some Powerball numbers out of them while you're at it. But It's about playing the numbers game and trying to get as close to 100 as possible, as accurate as possible. And when we look at a lot of people, when we look at a lot of our relationships, if we're being honest, if we take a look, we'll see that some of the decisions that we made, some of the people that we've linked up with, they were bad news from jump. And the little signs here and there, like, you know what, they said this, she did this. I should have made that left turn as soon as I got the inkling to do it, but we didn't do it. And now here we are with a horror story. Or we wait till things get way out of whack, way out of control, when we could have left when things were good early. I was talking to somebody recently who's a friend of the show, and they're currently going through the divorce process. And they confided in me that, they've been doing the work, they've been, making peace with themselves, they've been getting deeper in their spiritual relationship with God.
Right.
They've gone to therapy. It's been doing wonders for them. And they let me know that they're also going to go ahead and send their still mother-in-law, but soon to be former mother-in-law, some information for therapy to see if they can go ahead and help their ex as well, because their ex had a lot of issues that prevented the relationship from being successful. But the smart thing is they gave chances, but they didn't sit back and wait till things got extreme.
There you
To the
go.
point where they hate this person, they want this person dead, or they want this person hurt bad. They're still at a place where they have a lot of love in their heart for this person, but they realized, you know what? This isn't going to get better. Let's just go our separate ways now. And now they're still able to even be concerned and look out for the well-being of this person. They want this person to do well, to do great for themselves, even apart from them.
Facts.
Now, some people sit back and wait till it goes crazy, and next thing you know, you hear about them on the news. Somebody's brains are splattered on the wall. Someone's, found in the bathtub or something crazy like that. But this person, they did all they could, and once they realized we've got as far as we can, they didn't make excuses. They didn't keep trying to go forward. They got the hell out of Dodge. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right. No doubt. That's facts, man. Like, listen, that's like the most fundamental thing that people need to understand. Protect yourself. Protect yourself first. I've told the story about my friend Sean, who back in the days, he got locked up. I think he may still be in jail if I'm not mistaken. But he got locked up back in the days, not too long after high school, because he was going through something with his ex, and he shot her in the face, like at Denny's. It's public. In public, he shot this woman in the face, and like this was the most mild-mannered guy you ever want to meet. And everybody's standing around scratching their head, like, how? Yeah, but how, Sean? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Nobody could believe it. But this is what happens, when people feel that they are pushed. I'm not trying to justify what he did or make excuses for him, but when people feel that they are pushed and they're not all there mentally, they're going through problems. You never know what somebody's going through. That's why I always tell people, try to always leave somebody with their legs, because if you take everything from somebody, you back them into a corner, they ain't got nowhere to go, you don't know what they might do, and that's a great example of someone that I knew personally who shot someone in the face in public, bro. Like, over some, romance shit, so yeah, it gets that serious, man, like real talk. And, when you see those signs, you got to take action. You can't just sit around and wait and see, damn, what might happen the next time if I don't get, whatever. You can't do that. You just got to figure it out.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And interestingly enough, I see Ann stepped away for a minute, so I'm going to just keep it going. Interestingly enough, I saw this week how they went out and, your boy Safari put some tape out of Erica Mina coming in the house and snacking him up and cussing him out and getting all in his face and just being abusive, verifiably being abusive. And you know what I noticed? Crickets, nigga. That's what I noticed. I don't hear nobody talking about that shit. I saw it reported on Shade Room. I mean, it's one of the least commented on stories that I've seen on Shade Room. Nobody's talking about it. I don't see any of the usual suspects that are always whining about domestic violence and how old men hate women's and all this old shit. I don't see any of those low energy, toxic ass birds talking about that at all. I haven't heard a peep out of one.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. I mean, dude, that's all I'm saying. You gotta be, bruh, you gotta be consistent. For me, you gotta be consistent because, if you get fake outraged and you clutch your pearls every time somebody is as much as raises their voice and says something negative about a female, then I would expect the inverse to be equally as offensive, for you to be equally as outraged when something happens to a man, because what you're telling me is that you have integrity. But actually, no.
Bingo.
Most of these motherfuckers don't have any integrity whatsoever. What they have is a hatred towards men and a predisposition towards just spewing this toxic misandrist bile at the least little thing that a man does that's out of whack, that's out of school. You know, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Talk me off the ledge if I'm tripping. But that's what I see.
Not at all. And this goes to some other issues that we touched on before, not just about misandry, but how misandry is encouraged and coached and how it's deeply woven into society. There was a story, because I saw that too. It also is, I didn't see the whole thing or backstory. I just saw crazy reality star birds going at it with each other. That's all I saw. But the heifer actually used a ladder to get over the house. And again, can you imagine? To get over the fence. Can you imagine if a man used a ladder to get over a gate to attack a woman? But
who used the ladder to get over the fence?
Was that Erica Maiden chick? I saw
she used the ladder. I didn't see that part.
That's what I saw, because again, I told you I don't really. I look at some of these things just to keep current for the show, but I really don't pay attention to these people. But that was one thing I just scroll out and like, the hell is this? I see a chick on a ladder talk about so and so jumped over the fence. That's like, gee, this chick again. But just to show you again, and this is why this is serious, because it sounds all fun and games until we see that it's applied to other areas. There was a story, and I actually have yet to look up the story, but I saw the context behind it, and just the discussion about it was huge. Like over 1,000 comments I saw on one social media site about it. There was an incident where a woman was shot by a police officer. Yeah. Apparently, she's an ex-Georgetown basketball player. And I don't know what the context was behind it, but the chick had a butcher knife and was coming to the cop, actually sliced him in the head. He ran off.
What?
All right. He ran off. I don't know how it started, but I know how it was going. So at this point, regardless of what happened before, she became the aggressor. She got a butcher knife, hit the officer in the head. Officer's running away, told her to stop. She kept coming, trying to get him again with it, and he emptied the blicky on her.
Wow.
And now there's a whole bunch of people I saw in the comments. I wouldn't say the majority, but a disturbing number talking about, well, he didn't have to shoot. He could use a taser, this is that, and the third. And I'm like, it's a butcher knife. This is a lethal weapon. I just need one good time, and that's it.
It's always it's always two sets of rules, gang. Yeah. Always.
But see, that's the problem. If this was the other way around, nobody would have been talking about, well, she could have pulled a taser to taser victim. No one would have said that.
Nobody.
But again, because we have this narrative of men are predators, women are always prey, and this never switches, even when this is a clear-cut, obvious situation, people don't have the framework to look at it and have the same response.
Right. Yeah, people be off.
And that's a problem.
That's a huge problem, man. It's a huge
and that's why we make such a big deal about holding both groups accountable. We put boots to asses of men and women alike. Equal opportunity, you can get this work regardless of who you are, because it's about principles. That's what justice is about. Justice is about principle. Justice doesn't care about any distinction there is. It just cares about what is right and what is wrong.
Right.
And sometimes there can be some gray area in between because everything isn't always clear, but certain things are straightforward. If a man is attacking a woman unfoundedly, that's a problem.
Right.
We're going to say something about it. If a woman is attacking a man unfoundedly, that's a problem. We're going to say something about it.
Yes.
And we're not going to mince words. We're not going to put kitty gloves on for one over the other. Nah. You can, what Loaded Luck said, they going to get this work.
There it is. There it is, though.
Straight up.
Big facts. And, it's called consistency, at the end of the day, because, if you really care about the community, you're not going to pick and choose who it is that you're angry with. You dig? Based on variable X. Let variable X be, oh, this person is black, this person is white, this person is male, this person is female. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And we need to get to the point where, you know, if we're talking about right and wrong, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And some people, I'm telling you, I see this when I watch the news especially, they go out of their way to try to make up excuses for whoever's on their team. You dig? And the biggest place that I've been seeing that lately is with the liberals, with Kun Mala and her antics. You dig? They make up every goddamn excuse in the world for this woman. You dig? And, you know, I'm scratching my head just trying to figure out how people keep giving them a pass, because some people are so dumb that they let the shit ride. You dig? Like, it's, you know, the most recently, what the thing that I saw with Kun Mala that got me pressed was the situation with her and Lord Jamar, where he called her a bitch. And everybody wanted to act like they were so fake offended. Like, nigga, please. I mean, maybe he was wrong to call her that, you know what I'm saying? But the way they was trying to make that seem like it was a fucking extinction level event. Nigga, I'm just saying. We got our brother Ant back. We got the host back. You know, fresh off his toilet run. So go ahead and give us now.
You disrespectful, man.
It's one of them nights.
Hey, man.
Hey, we all human, bro. I'm not a robot. I'm not AI, and we ain't gonna be AI. You know, I gotta go. I'm like, what's the name in one of my favorite movies? Gosh, what's the favorite movie? Drumline.
Okay.
He ain't gotta read it. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
I say toilet. You know how to use it.
There you go.
You know, so
my dog is back.
So, well, you guys are making some great points. I heard you guys, and it's very important. You know, it's seriousness when it comes to that. And I know, Major, you talked about the situation with Erica Menendez. Is it Erica Menendez? What's her name? Mina.
Mina. Yeah.
Okay, Erica Mina. You know, climbing over the fence. And I saw a lot of the people, the women on social media, they didn't have a strong reaction for it. No. And I think in today's society, you know, ladies, y'all got to understand how much of a village you guys are part of. If you guys aren't being that stabilized part of the village like you used to be, then the village does not operate right. It does not create protection like it's supposed to be. Because as much as you can go out there and you can throw Diddy under the bus for what he did, you can throw Erica under the bus for what she did. Because you have this thing where you feel like, oh, it's not the same because, you know, Diddy physically beat her. This lady sat here and beat him too. The thing is, Diddy out-muscled what's her name and hit her, and she went on the ground. But because Erica hit Safari, who is bigger than him, bigger than her, does that make it right? Because he doesn't. What if she had knocked him out and he fell on the floor? Would it even make an impact? Or y'all would be like, damn, you know, he's a kind of a weak dude. It's always some kind of way to make a man seem more fragile in a situation where he should be protected. And that's a sad reality, you know? So when I'm seeing that and I'm looking on the timeline and I'm not even seeing any type of pushback coming from the women, it's like they were giggling. Some was like, oh yeah, that's kind of wrong for you to climb. They were more concerned about her climbing up the ladder to get over the house than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Oh, if you got to climb over a ladder, that means you ain't really over your dude, or you worried about him and another chick. It was more of you more worried about the other chick instead of, yo, this is something serious. This is something violent, especially doing this in front of your infant children. Like the projection of violence and what they see will end up creating that type of environment for those children growing up, because you embrace what you see as your parent, what you see your parents do as a child, you embrace it as normality.
Yep.
So if I sit back and my parents show me love, I feel like this is how love is supposed to be. This is what normal love looks like.
Right.
If I'm violent in my relationship and the children are seeing that, they're seeing, oh, this is part of a relationship. It has to be some kind of violence in it. So if I'm a little boy, I'm looking at it as, okay, it's okay to hit the girl I'm with. That because I love her like my daddy loved my mama. If I'm a little girl and I'm witnessing that, I'm looking at that as, oh, okay, my man beats me. He's beating me because he loves me. So I'm going to endure that a little bit more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to be more vigilant and more cautious about what we allow our children to see, because that type of stuff has a detrimental effect, even though y'all looking at it as they're little. These children are sponges. That's why I always get on people about, talking to them like goo gaga and all that stuff. No, talk to them like grown adults. They might not comprehend it, but they retain it. So when they do comprehend it, they can say it. And then that's why you have so many of these young children. You like, how the hell they so gifted? Like, where do you get these words from? Because when they were in the womb, the mother was reading books, had audio with the extensive vocabulary. The atmosphere around growing up had ABCs or whatever interactive books with them that was progressing and enhancing their intelligence. So the normal child that you run around and see is saying the basic procedures or the basic elements of knowledge. Then you see this one child that you're like, yo, how is this child doing something so far advanced? And we used to grow up on the shows like that, like what was Smart Guy? Smart Guy was one of the shows that we grew up off. We had all type of shows. Even on the white community, they had Doogie Howser. You had a young kid that was a doctor. You know what I'm saying? So those are the type of things that you do to program our children, and they understood that. And then they did the whole conditioning and the whole flip switch and give us all the ratchet stuff, the stuff that don't educate our children or nothing like that. So then when you're programming your children, when you're programming the parents to be as default, to be dysfunctional, the children are going to come out dysfunctional, and that's what they want. Because the more dysfunctional the child is, the more society benefits from their dysfunctional behaviors. So it's very important to bring it back to the topic where it's very important to choose right, because it is a fatal attraction. And even fatality doesn't mean death immediately. It could be fatal of the livelihood of the situation you set your children up based on the person that you chose to procreate with. So you don't want to do that. You want to avoid these situations. And it's very sad for people not to hold Erica accountable. This girl should be held accountable from all sides to the point where she had to come out and make a public apology. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the type of behavior or anything that we want should promote or sweep it under the rug. Because when we do that, we end up finding out that a lot of these women take it a little bit too far, and then now you don't have somebody lost their son. You know what I'm saying? Behind the violence of this woman. You get what I'm saying? So we have to nip it in the bud. We have to put back the lines and do the laws of governing ourselves a lot better than that. I'll land my plane. Go ahead, Major.
No, you're right, because the next thing they're gonna say, if he slapped the shit out of her and knocked her motherfucking teeth out, oh, now he wrong.
Exactly.
But she was attacking him. Case in point, Chris Brown, when he beat Rihanna's ass, Rihanna hit him first. And I'm going to bring that shit up every time anybody asks me about it. You understand what I'm saying?
While driving a high speed, a high performance sport exotic vehicle.
He was hauling ass.
You can't remove the context. This man is driving. Her actions could have got them both killed. If anything, him knocking her out probably saved her life.
Could have.
You're welcome.
Could have. And that's the thing, ladies, we don't advocate hitting women. But if you hit a man and he hits your ass back, then that's just what happened. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes some of y'all are asking for it. I said it and I'm not going to back down from it. You understand what I'm saying? Because anybody who puts their hands on somebody else runs the risk of legitimately getting clocked. You know, at the end of the day, yeah, she could have gotten both of them killed. Nobody ever looks at it like that, but that's the fact of the matter. You understand? So two things can be true. We can be against hitting women and abusing women, but at the same time, pro defending yourself no matter what the case is or who it's against. And that's what I'm saying right now. You know what I'm saying? If a man is being attacked by a woman and he slaps the shit out of her, that's just something that went down, because sometimes you really do have to defend yourself. You know, and ladies, when you're being like Erica Mena in this type of situation, what you're doing is creating the environment where it's okay to hit you. That ain't cool. You don't want to do that. See, they like to play this silly game, you know, where, oh, I know that you're not supposed to hit me, so I'm gonna keep pushing the buttons, you know, to try to get you as far as you can go. And if you do hit me, that's even an added bonus. Now I'm gonna go to the police. You understand what I'm saying? But that's not a cool game to play. You can end up dead quick. You know what I'm saying? Or harmed physically, really bad, or some permanent shit. I'm just saying. Everybody keep your hands to themselves. Everybody. Not just women, not just men. Everybody. Keep your hands to yourself. Develop this so that you know how to resolve conflicts without getting physical. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Because we can't, you know, it's part of motherhood. You can't be a hypocrite, right?
Right.
Because, and the reason why I say you can't be a hypocrite is because as a mother, you telling your child, you have a son, and your son is an infant. Your son is pretty much, let's say he's in kindergarten through 5th grade. I give up to 5th grade. Your son is from kindergarten to 5th grade. Mm-hmm. When your son come home and he tell you, Mom, this girl been beating on me, or the teacher says, yeah, this little girl in the class is hitting your son, you be so irate, you so infurious. Mm-hmm. And you sit back and you lecture your son. You tell your son, and I see this shit all the time. I even see it on social media. I see it in videos. Mm-hmm. Y'all sit back on these videos and you tell your children, don't you ever let no person hit you. I don't care if they're a girl or not. They hit you, you hit their ass back. Mm-hmm. Everybody who's been lectured by their parent has been told that, especially young boys.
Yeah.
No matter who it is, you hit their ass back.
Right.
But the thing is, you give that type of leeway to your child because it's your child.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But you don't give that leeway to when your child gets grown. And even if it is grown, as long as it's your child, you'll justify it. But if it's somebody else's child, you'll deem them as wrong and write a post about it and throw them under the bus.
Right.
But when it comes to your child, no matter how grown it is, it's still your baby. You mm-hmm. like, nobody has a right to put their hand on my child. And you will defend your son all the way through. We see it countless times after times. So we can't be hypocritical. Just as much as we tell people to keep their hands to themselves. If your son is out of line, you tell your son, don't do that shit no more, because I don't approve of that. Right. If your daughter's out of line, don't do that shit. You don't hit no man. That's out of line. And you straighten them out so they know how to govern themselves. The only time you should be as a person is when you're protecting yourself from being attacked. But you should never advocate for somebody to go out there and hit somebody and think that's okay.
Right.
Because they're going to fuck around with the wrong person, and that probably be the last time they hit that person, because everybody ain't wrapped too tight. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's the part of the protection that you have to do for your children, because a lot of people don't understand that part of it, you know. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about things like, you know, when we talk about the selecting of individuals, it's very important for you to do that, because you have people that aren't on the same page. They aren't on the same wavelength. So you, as a man, you can sit back and govern some great rules for your children, and your mate will unravel that whole shit that you're trying to do for your child. So it's kind of like you are you're seesawing. You know what I'm saying? You're playing on one side, you want it done this way, and on the other side, they let it go on that way. I've seen women govern their children the right way, and the dudes that they select be like, nah, let them do what they do, and then they become out of control at such a young age that it's hard for them to get back on the pace because on the right path, because now you condition them and wired them the wrong way. And I tell people all the time, your guideline or your time frame to wire your children the right way is from in the womb to 13. Anything after that, they're conditioned into habits, and it's going to be super hard for you to unwind that. That's why we have a lot of mentorship out there and everything like that. And shout out to DC Clark for doing his thing with his mentoring. I know Will Series got a mentorship going on with his. I know my boy Bertram Boyd got a mentorship as well. And there's so many other mentors out there, male mentors out there. Please utilize these mentors and get these children on track. Go ahead. I hand it over to you.
Real quick before we go too much further on, because this isn't about her, but I remember now I did actually stumble upon this psychologist on my friends list who actually weighed in on the situation lightly because she was bothered. Again, this is a professional, by a lot of people trying to justify what took place by saying, well, it's because Safari's a narcissist. He's a narcissist, and that's why, he's got her behaving this way. So she issued a response, and she didn't want her name shared because obviously this is not her professional opinion, and she doesn't want that to be tangled up because people are nuts. Yeah. But she said, and I want to be clear, Safari may very well be a narcissist. I'm not sure what gives lay people the authority to diagnose a personality disorder when us professionals would not even do so without actually having met someone. But I digress. Is it possible that he is, and his current behavior is an example of projective gaslighting, i.e. provoking responses out of her, and then filming for the masses so we all see that she's the problem? Yes, it's possible. But I'll tell you what he hasn't done. He has not made that woman be a bully to several women over the years. He has not made her celebrate when other women have been mistreated by men. He didn't make her mistreat another woman when she was in an actual relationship with. He has not made her the violent one on every single show she has been on.
Right.
He did not make her double down on calling that dark-skinned woman a monkey and then come back and apologize and then say she doesn't care. He also did not make her use a ladder to climb over his fence. So, again, we've got to make sure that we're assigning blame where it probably lies.
Right.
And, in conclusion, what you were saying is very important about how this informs our children, because this was done where their children were.
And just to add this in, before you add that on, just to add this on, you attract what you are. All right, go ahead, Bob.
Maybe she's with a narcissist because with a narcissist she has an excuse for her nonsense. If she's doing this with a stand-up guy, she looked like the villain. Maybe she's with the villain so she can look less than one as well too. But going back to what you said about it being fatal and not necessarily being in a death sense, not putting this out there, but it would be amazing if because of her actions, her daughter or her son grows up to be attracted to a significant other just like her, and they end up paying the ultimate price because of it. So maybe she doesn't get put in the pine box, but maybe her daughter gets put in the pine box because she tries to behave the same way her mother did, and did try with the man who wasn't having that foolishness, and he ended up snapping, and now she's in the grave. You don't see the ripple effects of your actions sometimes.
Facts.
And there's no guarantee how it's going to turn out, but sometimes the people who suffer the most from your actions aren't you, but it's other people who are very near and dear to your heart later on down the line. Be mindful of that. Well, go ahead, brother.
Exactly. So I did want to show some clippings of that, like different scenarios of that situation. Like I said, I've watched the show. If you guys haven't seen it, this is the show, Fatal Attraction. So I've been watching a lot of the episodes lately. And I want you guys to know this before I get into it. Always know this, ladies. All right? Being wanted by a lot of men will never compare to being valued by just one. So I know definitely going to bring that meme back up because it was something that I saw that I know Major will definitely going to talk about. But I want to talk about this real quick. So we had this lady here and this guy here. This is DeCarlo, and I think this is Cherie. And they were in a relationship, right? So let me go to where, okay. The man convicted of killing Cherie Jackson. No, let me go one more. All right. He strangled her, then buried her in the backyard. Now, more than 12 years ago, after pleading guilty, Cherie Jackson's killer was released from prison. DeCarlo Bennett was convicted of killing 29-year-old Cherie Jackson. He was released from prison over the weekend. All right. The man was convicted of killing Cherie Jackson 12 years ago in Greensboro, released from prison. He was released from prison on Saturday and placed on post-release supervision. Jackson disappeared and was reported missing in the late 2006. Just days after Thanksgiving, investigators found her body 19 months later in 2008. Bennett and the ex-boyfriend of Jackson was convicted of second-degree murder. He got a minimum of 13 years in prison as part of the plea deal for leading authorities to Jackson's body, which he had buried in his mother's backyard.
Wow.
The day in the courtroom when the judge said that he would be serving 13 years for murder for Cherie, it just hit everybody in the head. So he had basically what it was, and the mother went ahead and she started a foundation. It's called the Cherie Denise Jackson Foundation. Shipman said there are now 5 billboards up promoting the foundation with statistics of domestic violence cases, plus a helpline both in Greensboro and in Durham, North Carolina. The reason why I brought this one up, I watched the show and then I went to the real articles of the stories. And this guy right here, so they say he was a very attractive guy that he had caught with Cherie. So, okay, so what happened was Cherie was dating another guy, right? She is dating another guy. They were so good together, everything, they were just perfect together. But what happened was the other guy allowed Cherie to work with him and his mother, because they have like a organization, a business where they take care of elderly people. And she was so good at it. But the thing was, the reason they broke up is because he had to be stationed at another facility somewhere else, and she was at the main facility that they were normally at. And it was just so much demand for both of their jobs, they really didn't see each other, and that caused them to break up. When they broke up, she had, I think a month later, she had went to a club, and then she found this guy, DeCarlo, and he was a club promoter. He had graduated college, got his degree, making real good money for himself and everything like that. And she had got so caught up into him. She said she told her family that she really, really liked him. He was very attractive and everything like that. And this man played the part, he played the role, he was everything like that. And then, the thing about it is women always talk about they want men with money. And he had the means, he had the money. But the thing was, it also came with controlling, because when they asked one of the relatives of Cherie, they said, did you ever have any situations that he was off? And they was like, yeah, one time he came to my salon where, Cherie worked with me. And, as a family member, she came in there to work with me. He came in there and he just stood there the whole day. And she was like, he didn't come and pick up no cloth or no broom to help out. He was just standing there, just sitting there watching them the whole time. And she was like, that was kind of bizarre and weird. But she didn't think nothing of it, you know what I'm saying? And they just went on, and come to find out, like, everybody thought they was a good couple. But the thing was, Cherie never told nobody that this man was beating on her. He ended up killing her because he said when he killed her because she was going out to a game night with some coworkers from the job. And a bunch of white women, white guys, There was one black woman there, you know, everybody that worked at the facility.
Mhm.
And he was getting ready to go out there, and he broke into her apartment, found out she was going there, and that's when he had stabbed her and killed her. He killed her, then he got the police end up asking him about her, and he was like, yeah, you know, she was pregnant with my child, and you know, this and that. And the police was like, man, it's kind of weird what he was saying, but they ain't have nothing to really go on. So when they found out and they found the body and they did the forensics, they found out she was never pregnant. So they was like, you know, he said that because he wanted to garner some kind of sympathy because he lost not only his girlfriend, but possibly his child. So he wanted to garner sympathy from the police officers so they wouldn't
Yeah.
even be looking in his direction. And it just goes to show you the sick psychotic mentality that a lot of people have. And, you know, a lot of women always talk about they want men that look good on paper, but sometimes on paper, you know, ain't everything. You know what I'm saying? It goes beyond that. And I'm pretty sure the guy that didn't have all that much was a working man, the one that she originally liked. He was the one that she really wanted. And part of the reason he went back and killed the two, I forgot, he had found out that she had went back to rekindle with the guy while she was with this guy. I think the other guy was saying she was just at my house last week. So he had to follow her and found out that she was back, you know, trying to get back with the dude and about to leave him because, you know, it wasn't going well. And then he was like, if he was on that whole shit, I can't have you, nobody can. And that's how he ended up killing her. And that was a sad story. The next one I have here is this guy. Now, this was a weird one, right? So this guy was woman enacts deadly revenge plot to get back at man who broke up with her sister. So you had this woman right here who ended up going to jail because what happened was her sister, the guy was dating her sister, and when the guy was dating her sister, he had his name was Milo. I forgot his last name, but he was up in Jacksonville, and he was dating her sister, and her sister was kind of like, she was playing the game and playing both sides, like she wanted to be with him, but she just was so ratchet and just ignorant and everything like that, that they end up breaking up. And while the girl came to his house and said, oh, you know, we need to get back together. And he was like, no, I'm not getting back with you. You know, I'm good off of you. And he closed the door and he called her a bitch or whatever the case may be, because she was out there calling them names. She went back and told her sister, this girl, that he called her a bitch. She was 17 at the time. And what she did was she ended up getting another guy to go rob the dude, because the dude ended up selling, like, he was a low level drug dealer, selling nickel bags and stuff like that out of his apartment. So she made it seem like she wanted to holler at him, hook up with him. So she told him that the sister had another dude anyways. So she went over there to try to act like she was going to sleep with him. He had opened up the condom, and then the girl ended up leaving the door open for the guy to come in. The guy came in, had the gun, and he was aiming at the dude and saying, you know, give me all your stuff, as if it was a robbery. And the dude was like, nah. And he got up and he tried to fight the dude, and the dude shot a bomb twice in the head. So she ended up going to jail for it, because her revenge was because she said to the cops that he called her sister a bitch. Mind you, she was 17 years old, ended this man's life, and the man's mom was distraught and everything like that. Sad situation. This is her with her prison picked. That's her right there. And then it was another one. This one was this guy. Oh gosh, this was crazy. So this guy here ended up killing this girl right here because she was a very, and this is another thing too, a lot of y'all women are social butterflies, and that also can make you dangerous as well. And what makes you dangerous is because you guys have when you're a social butterfly, when you have empathy and things like that for people, you really don't have no boundaries. So you can be talking to somebody and just being a nice person. And when you come across a person that really doesn't have any social skills, the Jeffrey Dahmer kind of, the Norbit type of dudes, when you run across them and nobody wants to be their friend, but you come along and you're looking at them for who they are and you want to be their friend. And then the way you engage with them, it sends them the wrong message, even though that's not the message you were sending. But to them, they feel like, oh, how does a pretty girl like that, want to talk to me? No other pretty girl wants to talk to me. So now they gained a bond in a way that makes it feel like that you're their girlfriend. And that's what happened with this dude. He was not social, not a social butterfly. It was very awkward. Even when the police interviewed him the first time, it was like, yo, he's a very awkwardly kind of guy. But the guy ended up killing her because she got into a relationship with a dude. Now, mind you, this guy was giving her rides to work. They were kind of like best friends. He would call her, she would call him and tell him like all her business, even when she was dating the new guy. And he was like, oh, for real? He played it off like he was just the best friends. And then when she ended up, she ended up telling him that she was getting married to her new dude who took care of her, who got her, brought her into his home, established her home, everything with her. This guy walks up, sees them in the car because he was dropping them off. So he had to been staking out her house to see when she was going to come home. Staked out the house, saw them in the car, walked up, shot her twice, and ran off. And the boyfriend got out the car and, he was so in distraught because he didn't know what the hell was going on. And it's not a neighborhood that has that type of violence. So he was holding his girlfriend the whole time, trying to call, he ran inside to her mom's to tell her moms to come out and call the police and everything like that. And, she ended up passing away in the hospital like a day later. And they didn't know who this guy was. They didn't even have him as a suspect or nothing. And I think it was an auntie or something that had a dream and said his name. And that's how the cops end up getting his information. And then they found out that this dude had a secret crush. And what happened was when she had told him that she was getting married because she got engaged by a boyfriend, he lost it. And when they went to his apartment, he had notebooks like what they call the black and white ones, those little
steno pads.
Yeah, the little ones that you had to take as students. Yeah.
Stenos,
Yeah.
Jesus,
And
right.
you had to this man had a whole diary log of everything, his feelings and all that. And when they read that, they were so horrified by what they read. And when he got caught, he also told them that he had depression and he suffered from depression, and that's why he did it, because he really was infatuated with her, and that was his motive of doing it, man. And it was so sad situation, because she was a lively butterfly type woman. Like, she was cool and kind to everybody. She didn't have no enemies. Everybody enjoyed her energy and everything like that. And just to see it go down the drain because somebody made the infatuation in his head that they were together, and that was a form of cheating, just lets you know, like, everybody ain't wrapped too tight. And even when you're talking to somebody on a friendship level, you have to be very cautious about that as well. So those are the three cases that I wanted to bring to you guys, and I'll turn it over to you guys.
Woo, bruh, it's a lot going on in all three of those examples.
Yes.
I mean, overall, what's going on, Mila Renee? What's cracking?
Yeah. Opposition notebooks. That's what it is. Opposition notebooks.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I took a few things. I got a few small takeaways. I mean, all talked about, and I in particular have talked about the importance of vetting.
Yeah.
Bruh, this goes right back to that. You know what I'm saying? If you're with some super psycho ass dude or some super psycho ass female, when they snap is not the first time that you knew something was wrong. 9 times out of 10. And you just didn't choose to act on it when you saw the other signs. You know what I'm saying? And that can be very dangerous. It can be fatal. You know what I'm saying? From the first story with the dude who killed his girl and buried her in the backyard, bruh, what are we doing here, man? You know, I mean, there's no reason. And look, I'm the number one person to tell you, I'm not an advocate of cheating. I feel like cheaters are some of the biggest lowlifes in the world. You understand what I'm saying? I call them infidels. I don't even call them cheaters. I call them infidels because that word is just so putrid. It just makes it sound nasty and dirty like what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't value what infidels do, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit up here and say that it's right for you to kill somebody because they did that to you. You dig? You know, or whatever the case may be. I mean, there's always some bullshit reason if you got a couple screws loose, there's always some bullshit reason to kill your girlfriend. I think they said that in the Scream movie, right? Like, it's always some bullshit reason you can come up with. You got to be smarter than that because you got to play the long game. You know what I'm saying? When you kill somebody, it's something really, really life altering, you know, and something that can really ruin your life, their life, obviously, because they're gone, and the lives of everyone around the both of you. You gotta understand the gravity of that shit before you go and make a decision to do something that's going to have final ramifications for a few seconds of revenge. Fuck out of here, man. You gotta be smarter than that. You know what I'm saying? The hood rat, you know, who set the dude up to get killed because of some shit that her friend went through, that don't even make sense. Like, you know, this is not even you that was impacted. This is somebody else. Was it her friend or her sister?
Her sister, and the guy she got to do it was a 21-year-old. Lost his whole life behind him.
It's ridiculous, you know. And fellas, you know, why are you letting aimless hood rats cause you to lose your whole damn life? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense, you know. Brothers, you know, we have to be smarter than this. I see too much of this, you know, flying by the seat of your pants, willy-nilly, emotional bullshit, you know, that you guys just kind of get in your feelings and you go do something ridiculous and destroy your life. That ain't manhood. That ain't manly. That ain't manhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all brothers, you need to slow down, take a breath. You was hurt. Yeah, your pride is hurt. Your feelings hurt. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. But what are the ramifications, nigga? That's what you got to think about. What are the ramifications? If I do this, what are the odds that I'm going to get off to begin with? You understand? And then, okay, even if I do, damn, I just lost 15 to 20 years of my life. I just took away somebody that other people love, even if I had a falling out with him. How many times something happened and you real pissed off in the moment? A few days later, you're like, I wasn't that serious. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You had to apply that to every situation. You might be pissed as hell in the moment, but it ain't that serious. You got to take somebody's life. What the hell is wrong with y'all out there? And the awkward guy, the one that stands out to me the most is this whole ass nigga who killed the girl that he liked. Wasn't even his girlfriend. This super simp that killed this girl that he liked, that he had a crush on. Those are, to me, I mean, all of these are bad, but those to me are the most dangerous because I see that kind of shit more than I see anything else. It's the killer that you don't even know about. It's like diabetes, the silent killer. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't even know the shit is there. And a lot of y'all women are so damn green, you're not paying attention. You don't have situational awareness to the point where you even know that this guy has feelings for you at all sometimes, or you just enjoy using him. She said she was getting rides to work. He probably gave her a little money here and there, all that shit. Chicks think that shit is a flex. That shit is dangerous. For men too. You got this person who's just doing all this random shit for you, these random acts of kindness out of the clear blue. Nah, bro, it's always something beyond that. It's always something to that. And you need to be aware of it and get yourself out of harm's way. These are all very, very tragic stories. You know, it's quite a few of them. I want to consolidate this, keep it short. My takeaways are: stop trusting any and everybody, stop using people, have situational awareness, and, you know, do your proper vetting. I'm going to say it for the 1,000,001st time and hope that it registers in somebody's head, because you don't get in these types of situations if you're vetting properly. And I'll park the Buick.
Well said.
Yeah.
It's funny that you brought those up, because I meant to send this to you and I forgot to. But when I saw this was so crazy. I just swore up and down it was fake. And then I looked it up, I did the digging, and I found the names, I found the story. And I was just sitting there for like a good 30 seconds, jaw slapped, like, huh? Because literally, it was a plot out of a Hollywood blockbuster movie. It's crazy. So I'll condense this as much as possible, but long story short, we're talking about, in this case, perfect example of how sexual discipline and lack of integrity messes you up. So here's what I believe this happened, took place in Chicago. So this dude thought that he was going to go ahead and cheat on his wife with some broad at his workplace. Number one, I for the longest time, even if you're not cheating or whatever, I've always been an advocate of not shitting where you eat. I don't believe in keeping the drugs and the money, or the drugs and the guns all in the same place. I never believed in that, for this probably for the same reason. But he thought he was slick, and they were having a nice long affair. She was married, he was married. His wife, this Mexican chick, found out that he was cheating. She didn't blow up on him. She decided to play the long evil game. So what she did was she just gathered as much evidence as she could, got the details, and she set up some dummy Facebook accounts. And she pretended that she was some members of a Mexican cartel who were related to her, and they were threatening him and sending him threatening messages, whatever. And I'm listening, this is crazy.
I've seen that.
And I'm like, but if I think about it, remember, this isn't some chick that he knows. This is his wife. They share a house. She knows a whole bunch of stuff about him, and he knows things about her. I'm sure she probably manipulated some things that he figured only that her family would actually know, and especially if maybe some of her relatives had some criminal past or whatever, wouldn't be too hard to sell. So basically, between a couple of fake dummy accounts that she set up, she got dude to think that now, because of him being married to her, he was in the cartel, and they were blackmailing him into putting a hit out on the chick that he was sleeping with. So long story short, he went ahead and he didn't just kill her, he killed her husband and their children. Took the whole family out. And I believe she went with him because I don't know how she played it, but she played it like, no, my family members sent me to make sure that you did the job, whatever. Yeah. So I'm guessing the whole goal was to set him up as the murderer so he'd go down. She messed up because somewhere along the line the news got back to about what happened, and so they were on the run. Yeah. Her family went and said that he's the killer. She's being held hostage by him or whatever. This is that and the third, and they were tracking them. They got video footage of them in a Walmart or something leaving, and they could see on the camera. She didn't like she was in distress. She liked she was having a fun conversation. They were laughing or whatever. And so cops swarmed in on them. They hit their vehicle, took off, and they went on a crazy police chase. Ultimately, car, I guess, crashed and went outside the road. The police were coming in. Before they could get in, he killed her and then turned the gun on himself. Yeah. And I'm reading through it based on some of the things from some other people who live in the area, heard the details. What it sounds like is when things were going crazy or whatever, because her whole goal was to get him set up and she's out of the way. It sounds like maybe in fear, she probably came clean to him about what happened. And when he realized, oh, this hoe set me up, he realized, I'm done. My life is dead. It's over. He decided, well, you don't come with me. And so he took her out and then took him out. So she thought she was slick because of her actions. Now, really, truth be told, this is because of his actions, because she's responsible for her mess, but he's the one that tipped the first domino, if we're being honest. We're being fair about it. But she thought she was slick trying to go ahead and set him up for the fall. Because of her lies, all 6 people taken out. A whole family's dead that had nothing to do with anything. Innocent children, innocent husband. The cheating heifer's dead. Her husband's dead. But she's dead too. And that's a perfect example of how they talk about when you try to go out for revenge, make sure you dig 2 graves, one for the other person, one for yourself. So at the end of the day, joke ended up being on her. But at the end of the day, none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for him cheating and being scandalous. He thought it was all good, getting him some cookie on the clock, however he was getting down. And ultimately, so many lives were ruined, families destroyed, devastated, because lack of discipline on both camps. He had no discipline. The heifer she with had no discipline. And it turns out that he was married to somebody who was hella foul.
Yep.
So
that reminds me of this story, the one story I did miss, which was this one right here. No, that's not it. It was one story that I did miss. I think it was this one. Yes, this guy here. So this guy is Quinzel Wilson, and he was found guilty of killing Trudy Hall. And what happened was this guy here, he was married. And here's another thing. This is I'm so glad you brought that up because I almost forgot about this one. He's married. Him and his wife go to church. The girl he killed, he met at church. They were having a secret affair. The girl he met at church was married to 2 other guys.
What?
Because she's a from the way her mother talks, she sounds Jamaican, right? So her daughter was Jamaican, but her daughter was marrying guys for $20,000. They said one of the guys she married. So she was marrying guys for money to get their citizenship. She was married to one, he looked like a Hispanic type guy, was the first guy she married. Then she was married to a second guy. So when she got killed or was missing, they didn't know what was going on with her. The husband was like, I don't know what's going on. So they thought it was one of the 2 husbands that end up dealing with her. When they start digging, they found out that this guy had a secret relationship with her, was taking her to the hotel. But guess what? The girl that he was dealing with, the side chick, she was pregnant. The husband said he knew it wasn't his baby, but he thought it was the baby for the first husband. And all along, it was this guy's baby. And the reason he killed her is because he didn't want the baby to be born and his wife to find out about his sexual escapades and his infidelity. So he killed her. Trigger warning. He stuffed her body in a barrel. But he decapitated her head. So they found her body in the barrel because what they did was, the police was so slick. Let me tell you how slick the police was. They end up contacting the mother and they said, how does your daughter talk in text messages? And the mom showed them how she talks in text messages because she's from the islands. They end up getting a phone, a burner phone, texting his phone. And when they text his phone, they was like, yeah, I'm all right now, but it's messed up what you did to me. And this fool, you knew you decapitated her head. Well, let me tell you how stupid. When shit, your conscience is one of the most powerful shit ever.
Yeah,
and when your conscience start playing with you, boy, you do some of the stupidest shit you don't even realize. This man felt like she really was alive. They watched him, and he ended up going to this lady's house that he did work for on her house. And when they found out he went to that house, they end up seeing it had like a long grass backyard that was really government property.
Mhm.
And they went on that grass with some bloodhound dogs, and the dogs took them straight to the barrel. And that's how they found out and knew that he had killed her. And that's how they solved the case.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's
and
wow.
I do want to say that adds up to this video right here that I want to show, because I want people to understand sometimes, and I as much as we can drill this girl for being a 304, you have to respect her. I respect women that said, nah, you know what, I ain't shit. You should find somebody who is worth, because I see value in you, and I'm not even about that. So I have to respect that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to show you this video that shows that.
Questions?
I'm going to have to say no. And the reason I have to say no is because you being a high school teacher, you have to be a good role model and influence for your kids. And you dating like somebody like me.
What is somebody like you?
Like a reality TV star, rapper, a whole, like you that's not a good example for your children.
I mean, like my private life. Ain't nobody.
I know, but I'm such a public figure that if we was dating, I feel like everybody would know. Like, your kids are like,
How
oh my
would they
God,
know?
like you're dating nobody.
I mean,
like,
I respect that. As many times I've been viral, my students haven't ever been able to find me. So you know what I'm saying. But I respect your choice.
you get what I'm saying? Like,
No,
I'm looking
respect
out
that.
for the kids.
You can look out for the kids. I appreciate you, but I don't give a damn about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying like if I'm at a grocery store and they see me, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna just.
No, I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but me personally, because you are such a good man,
I
I
appreciate you.
want you to be with a better woman.
I appreciate you. You got questions?
I'm gonna have.
Yeah. You know, kudos to her, and it really says a lot about
him.
It says a lot about him.
Backhand his ass. Just
Yeah, it says a lot about that
Stupid
guy,
dumbass.
and it go back to dick discipline. You know, her name is Diamond the Body. I don't know if you guys know about her. She's a so-called rapper.
Is that?
I don't know.
It's
But,
I'm afraid to ask the question, because if I ask the question, I might get an answer, and I'm afraid it's the answer I don't want. But I'm asking anyways. Is that chick that was talking about that she's been with, like her body count's like in the 4 figures or something?
I think that's her.
Probably
think that's her.
Probably is.
Yeah.
She admits that she's a hoe. She admits it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's her. Yeah, over 2,000 men. Yeah, that's that profile and courage. Yeah, that's her. You know. And you know what bothers me the most, I respect her acknowledgement that she's a piece of shit. I respect that. I respect the hell out of her acknowledgement that she's a piece of shit. What I don't respect is this ass clown sitting there still trying to, you know, brown nose.
Boy.
Still trying to stand there, this clown ass nigga. And you know, you can tell just by looking at this nigga, you automatically know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? This nigga, he's standing up there with his childbearing hips. You understand what I'm saying? And just out of shape ass nigga. You could tell he ain't used to having no women. You know what I'm saying? He got some money. He got him a fresh hairdo. You dig? And he's talking to a quote unquote rapper, and he feels like he's on top of the world right now. I bet you anything, he was the goofy little nigga in school that nobody ever talked to, that didn't have any friends, that was the geek, you know what I'm saying? And now he's grown. He got a little money in his pocket, you know, and he got some birds chasing after him. And he think it's all good. What's going on, Nubes? What's going on, Janae? I see y'all. You know, and when you see dudes like that, exactly. Don't save us. You don't want to be saved. When you see dudes like that out here simping for a woman that is telling you she ain't shit, bruh, it's much to be desired about a nigga like that. I'm just saying, like, I'm more worried about him than her. At least she knows who she is. You dig?
Look,
I respect, you know, how she confronted that situation, but I'm gonna just put this out there to all women. Hoeing ain't going. You dig? Hoeing ain't going, bruh. You know, y'all gotta stop this shit. So many women I see out here, their embrace of hoe culture, even if they're very nice women and they're hoe adjacent, niggas gonna look right past you. We know some people just like that, right?
Yeah.
You know some people just like that. Like, you cool and everything, whatever the case may be, but your whole circumference of the females that you hang around is like hoe headquarters. We
Yeah.
can't take you seriously. And by we, I mean men. I'm already married. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But women have to understand what that looks like. And men, I've said this 1 trillion times already. There's going to be 1,000,000,001. Leave the trash outside. There's no reason for you to be trying to entertain a woman like Diamond the Body who thinks it's just a flex that she done slept with over 2,000 men. Why would you want that? What is she going to teach your children? Nigga, think. Come on, man. I'm just saying. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Amun, Janae, Mila, we in the building. That's what's up. We see you.
I do want to say this. I tell people all the time, and I have people that I'm cool with, and I always check them on this shit.
Yeah.
Stop saying fuck them kids. And I know people get irritated because they like, oh, you don't have no kids and you don't understand. It's sometimes you just so tired of you. I don't give a fuck how tired you are about your kids. The more people don't understand, like, your mind is conditioned. It's a conditioning force.
Right.
What you condition your mind to, it will pick up and normalize that shit. If you keep saying I suck all day, and we talk about this all the time, like, you telling yourself all the negative words are powerful. Words have meanings. They can drift you into places that you don't want to go into. That's why you got to be very careful of the words that you choose. That's why you women should not be sitting there demonizing men for saying grand rising instead of good morning. Mourning is when you're mourning the death of somebody. There's nothing good about mourning. You get what I'm saying? But we're so conditioned to say it. I don't hold people accountable to saying it because we're conditioned to it. And I know you mean it in a good way. But if people are trying to break off of that conditioning and say grand rising instead of good morning, why the hell the masses is demonizing that? Why are you making a joke about that? You guys got to understand, when you speak, you can either speak life or you can speak death. The tongue is mightier than the sword. That's why a lot of times, a lot of these men are 3 times more likely to get suicide, because the women inside their house, their tongue is so goddamn vicious.
Yeah.
You can literally destroy a man by the way you speak to him. That's why I commend so many of these women out here that's on podcasts, that's out here telling other women, speak life into your man, and showing people videos of that. Because your tongue is powerful. Just like when you speak to your children, you know, there's things you just don't say in front of your children.
Facts.
And you always got to speak life into your children. So when your children hit that motherfucking door, it's motherfucking death in their fucking ears 24/7, death in their eyes 24/7. So when they come inside the house, let them see the beauty. Let them hear the beauty. Because the house is the most powerful covenant you have. So once they see that the natural beauty of what it is inside of household, when you go out that fucking door, they are not fazed by the shit that is out that door, because they know that shit out that door is corrupted. When I get home to my mom and daddy, I love it there. I embrace that. And I end up fighting everything out that goddamn door, because the power of what I'm spoken to in that household is what makes me survive in that cool ass world when I leave that door. But if you're spitting venom in their ears, then the venom sounds natural to them outside that damn door. And when they come back in that door, they're 10 times the monster that you didn't think that they were, because you helped create it and outside help to feed it. I don't mean to go off in no tangible rant, man, but I just had to say that quick, man. So I let my
You talking that talk, gang. I hear you. Bobby, what you got? What you got, Bob? You talking that talk now. That's what we're talking
about. I want to sucker punch him in the jaw for talking stupid, but you have to understand that people are who they are. We get messed up. You know what? If you just sit back and shut the hell up and just let people talk, don't try to put words in their mouth. Just, if you got a question, you just ask them an open-ended question. Don't try to lead them with the question. Just wide open, blank, broad question. Let them talk and fill the details. People gonna tell you who they are. They will tell you the truth.
Oh yeah.
The problem is a lot of us have a very adverse relationship with the truth. We talk about it all the time. These people are at war with reality. They got beef with the truth. They got static with honesty. And that's why they have little to no progress in life. They still keep on battling the same old demons. They got the same old issues because they refuse to dwell in reality. And just like your grade school bully, every time you get on the school bus, here they go trying to be in La La Land. And reality come clock them beside the head, give them a wedgie, take their damn lunch money, and talk about how they're going to do it all over again at the end of school.
Right.
Because you can't escape reality. He's attracted to her because even though, he might be all dudded up, looks good, suited and booted, looks clean, hair on point, got his nice glasses and everything. He's a teacher, but inside, he's a garbage man. He's a trash killer. And I don't mean that in disrespect to any of the sanitation workers, but what I mean basically is he's a dumpster diver.
I get you.
He's Oscar the Grouch. He's Oscar the Grouch. Y'all remember that Oscar the Grouch song where he's singing? He's like, "I love trash." That's him. He loves trash.
That's a common thing among a lot of dudes too, by the way. Common.
And because they're game goofy.
Look at Kanye. Shit.
And it's a lot of things. It can be that they're game goofy. It can be that maybe they grew up socialized to like that. If they grew up on things like porn and stuff, or where those are the women that they saw, now they're an adult. That's what they tie attraction to. Yeah. Could be that their mother were just like that.
Come on now.
Kill the live, man. We might get taken off. Kill the live, man.
Hold up.
Maybe that's how. Maybe that's their mama. Maybe that's their grandmama. Maybe that's the women in their family in the household. Maybe that's what they grew up seeing.
Yeah.
Who's the first teacher of the children?
Is that me?
I don't know. It might be at my neck.
Who's
the first teacher of the children?
Okay.
Who's the first teacher?
The mother.
Okay.
Mother.
So somewhere on the line, despite his education, despite his experience, despite his profession, despite his style, the external attributes, inside, he sees that and thinks, this is what I want to be with. This is what I need to be with. And even when she's right there saving him from herself, God bless that sister. And I'm going to get on her in a second. God bless that sister. She looked at this dude and she knows she could take that boy for a ride.
Yeah.
She could ride that boy hard, put him away soaking wet, boy. She knows she could. She has enough of a conscience and enough integrity, God bless her, to go ahead and try to save that man from destruction. Say, you know what? I'm not going to do that to you. You don't need to be with someone like me. You're in a position where you need to be a role model. You need to be someone these children can look up to. I'm not the kind of woman that's going to help bolster that. I'm going to tear that down. I'm not going to build it up. And he basically said in so many words, man, damn these kids. I need to get my dick wet, man.
Basically.
Man, kids, yeah, for them kids.
Yeah, facts.
That's how it is.
And he probably
as far as she goes, and no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, plus she might be aware of the type of guy he is, because when you have a guy that, if you're telling him, nah, I'm not the girl for you, and he's like, nah, man, then she might know I might have a harder time breaking up with this dude or getting away. He might want to kill me.
Oh, she know. Look,
facts.
one thing I'll say, look, come hell or high water, any person that's been sexually intimately involved with well over 1,000 people, over 2,000 people,
She knows.
even if you a dumbass, you should be able to pick up a little bit on human nature and people. You should. You literally deal with a lot of them in very intimate ways. You should know something about them.
True.
All right, and she probably sees, this is the. But for whatever reason, even if it's self-serving, she is saving that brother from himself.
Mm-hmm.
The next chick he bumps into like that probably isn't going to be nearly as kind-hearted with him, and that's going to be his undoing. Then he's going to be on these damn blogs. Man, I hate these black women. These black women are terrible. I'm going to get my passport. I'm going to go to Thailand and get me a lady boy. That kind of nonsense.
That's another thing. I want this out real quick. I want to make sure I point this out. Just because you have one hood booger up here conducting herself in this way or whatever and comporting herself in this manner, that is not reflective or representative of black women.
Mm-hmm.
That shit makes my head explode when somebody does some dumb shit and then, oh, y'all black men ain't shit. They did that a couple weeks ago with Offset. Offset went and did whatever he did that was obvious if you were paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And then, black men ain't shit. The fuck we did? We didn't do nothing. Mm-hmm. That nigga did something. Same thing with this little hood booger right here. That heifer did something. We didn't have nothing to do with it. And so black women have nothing to do with women like that. There are some black women out there like that. There are some women of every race that are out there like that. So I just want to make sure that nobody gets it fucked up and starts, trying to paint with a broad brush and saying that this bird represents black women.
And we held Stephon Diggs accountable for his shit too. We didn't give him no pass on that because that's disgusting as fuck. I wouldn't have sex with a pregnant woman, and I know if you have sex with a pregnant woman, you ain't throwing on no rubber. And now you're hitting all the women that nigga hit, you're hitting too. You know what I'm saying?
Plantation book shit. That's what that is. That's a plantation book type of behavior.
It is. Lack of discipline. In closing,
here we are. You know what I'm saying?
In closing, what I will say is a woman like that has that level of self-awareness and is able to be honest, she dwells in reality. Mm-hmm. And even though she has gone very, very down the dark and dusty and dingy path, for whatever good it's worth for her own self, she has a pretty good chance of redemption because she sees where she is. Again, she's dealing in reality. She knows who she is. She knows where she is. She's not trying to make up any myths, any fantasies or fairy tales about who she is in a situation. She knows who she is. And she still has some measure of a heart and a conscience where she can look out for other people besides herself. That woman probably just needs to have one or two good people to come in her path and to help her make that pivot and to get onto a proper life and a safer lifestyle. The sad part is there's a lot of women who will never come anywhere remotely near to the lows that she has, and they're all the way out here in Oz with Dorothy and the Tin Man and the Cowardly Lion and the Scarecrow and everybody else. Now, if this chick can be brutally and bluntly honest about herself and where she is, it makes you look all the worse that you can't have that same level, if not a greater level, of self-awareness and accountability. Shame on you. Getting in bed with 2,000 men is beneath you, but being honest about who you are and where you are, you can't be bothered to deal with that. You need to get your mind right, because I've seen chicks like Diamond the Body make an about face and lap some of these heifers that swore up and down that they were above her level, that they looked down their nose at, and now those women that were all the way down here, they run in circles on top of those broads. Learn from Diamond the Body. If you're going to learn anything from her, don't learn how to get down like she does with men. Learn how to be accountable and self-aware.
Does she have kids?
I hope not, but...
Go ahead. What you were saying? Oh God.
Lord,
I hope not. Lord, I hope not.
I'm looking up right now if she have children.
If we're talking about the law of averages, then unfortunately, it's probably a good chance she has. More than likely, she's probably been to, as Corey Holcomb calls him, she's been to the hitman's office a few times. But
That nigga right there. Oh,
Corey's
we
a
gotta
wild
have
boy,
Corey.
man.
We gotta have Corey on the show.
He was down here last month, and I completely forgot I missed it. I was actually clear that night to see him. But next time he's in place, I'm gonna hit him up, see if we can have him on the show. But if that's gonna be a doozy,
he would do well.
That's gonna be a doozy.
Yeah, I don't see her having any children, and I think that's another thing too. We always see the meme where it's like in high school, she's the bad chick, and then the nerd guy is chasing her, and she's like, nah. And then all of a sudden, she have all these children, her body's out of whack, and then now he's on his game, and now she's like, hey, what's up, big head? And he like, hell no. You know what I'm saying? You want to give me the attention when you at your worst, but when you was at your best, you look down on me. That's what's going to happen. She's going to get to a point that she is going to, say to herself, I wasted my years. You know what I'm saying? And now you want that guy, that nice guy, not per se him, but you want a nice guy now because you done ran through all the bad boys. And the bad boys, they don't want to wife you up. They just want a good time with you, and that's the sad reality,
Might not be the case for him because, again, to be that self-aware is rare for a lot of people, period, not just women, but for people, period. There's a pretty good chance that maybe she's completely accepted the life that she's in and she's decided that, relationships aren't for her. She's not looking for that. Or maybe it's some dude who's got an equally janky past comes across and it's you got a past, I got a past, so we can work past that with each other. Could be the case.
I would say,
like I said, I believe she has a better chance of getting an optimum, not the ideal, not the perfect, but in her case, in her circumstance, I believe she has a great chance of getting the optimum outcome for her circumstance because she dwells in reality. She's not going to be some of these women who's going to talk about, well, I'm turning down this man because he's not above 6 feet tall. He doesn't make 19 figures. He doesn't drive 18 Teslas combined into one or whatever, all the other nonsense that's out there. If she has that self-awareness and she's understanding, look, I'm a beggar. I really can't be a chooser. So if there's a dude that'll come along and halfway treat me right, whatever that comes with, I'm good with that. Then I think she can still get what for her would be a happily ever after.
It can happen.
Again, the other ones who don't live in reality, all they have to look forward to is a house full of litter boxes and leashes.
Yeah, I think that's the mentality that she have now because she's on the high horse, because she has a little reality show. Her little music is bumping in certain people. Right now she just living her life. But I feel like that type of industry and that type of habits and behaviors, after a while, you get tired of it. Them the type of girls that they'll fuck about 2,000 guys, and then all of a sudden now they want to be in they celibate years, or they end up getting a kid from anybody that they want a kid, and instead of indulging in a relationship, now their kid is that relationship. And we definitely have to have a show about these women, man. And I've encountered some women in my past that they get the child from any dude and they invest in that child so heavy that everybody's secondary. So it's either you're gonna deal with that shit or you not. And if you're not, I'm cool with it because I'm so invested in my child. You know what I'm saying?
The son husband.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The son husband. Exactly. It's a whole community of
oh yeah.
My God. And even see them in pictures with their son's friend.
And it don't even stop there. It go down to the grandchildren too. I've met women so invested in their grandchildren. It's like, okay, all right. I gracefully bow out of that shit. I do want to show this video real quick because, like Major said, if you don't go to vetting who you are dealing with, you might be in for a treat.
Andy, like Toy Story, like
Andy's coming, drop dead.
Oh God, I stopped you today because I wanted to know if you had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
How long y'all been together? Or been like a on and off thing?
Few months, almost a year.
You love him?
Yeah.
Yeah. What you love about him? Toxic.
He's sweet.
Sweet.
He buy me stuff. He don't beat me.
Beat you is crazy. What you got going on?
Our generation real domestic.
I don't know nothing about that, man. I ain't gonna lie. But you got a boy best friend?
Yeah.
You do? How long y'all been best friends for?
Years.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Years? Your boyfriend cool with that? You don't get like jealous of it? Nah?
We be hanging out.
Together? Like, so your boyfriend know about your best friend?
Yeah.
Y'all be hanging out all together. So your boyfriend cool with you having a best friend?
Yeah.
Like, all right, bet. So look, right, today I went to the call your boy best friend, right? And then I went to the telling you trying to come over Netflix and chill. You need some act right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? How long y'all been best friends for again?
Couple years.
A couple years.
Long time.
Long time. Y'all never kiss, hug, none of that. Well, y'all probably hug, but y'all never kiss.
Right. No.
No? Y'all never slept together? None of that. You sure?
I'm positive.
You positive? And they be hanging out like your boyfriend and best friend?
Yeah, we all cool.
Y'all all cool. All right. Look, it's gonna be crazy if y'all, you know what I'm saying, did something and y'all be hanging out.
Nah.
All right, bet. So that's how you do, right? I want you to call him, put on speakerphone.
Speaker.
And tell him trying to come over Netflix and chill. You need some act right. You know what I'm saying?
Speaker is crazy.
Let's see what he say.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, bestie.
What's up? What you want?
Nothing. Chilling. My boyfriend not acting right, so I was trying to see if I could come over so we can watch movies. I need some act right.
Act right. You talk my language. I'm gonna come over.
Out of pocket for that shit.
Come over right now.
I'm finna come over.
Alright, but I ain't about to be playing with you either. You talking about something. Your boyfriend, all this extra shit. I'm not gonna be playing with you.
What you mean?
So when you come over, we getting right to it.
What you mean we getting right to it? Right to what?
Right to what?
Like the same way I was doing it the other night.
What night? You wrong, bestie. Wrong, bestie.
So you wanna act like I won't beat you down the other day?
I don't know what you talking about. I thought we was best friends. I really don't know what you talking about. I feel like you got the wrong bestie because I ain't come over there for all that.
We is best friends, but sometimes we get
active.
Bruh, you put a streets, nigga.
Sometimes we get a little active. Sometimes. Who you with?
Nobody.
Sound like you with somebody.
I'm not with nobody. I'm not with my boyfriend, if that's what you're worried about.
So you don't care about my boyfriend?
All right, yeah. I don't care about that nigga anyway.
Oh.
Lord Jesus.
Damn.
They're right there. I don't care. Just let him know. Let him know I'm beating it too good.
Oh my. I'm finna be single. All right.
Who do it better, him or your boyfriend?
My best friend.
Hey, bro, she is for the streets. That's tough.
Wow. That's crazy.
So
I really hope that was scripted. I hope that was.
Oh man.
But you got a lot of women out here that hide their ex dudes under a best friend or male best friend or male friend title.
Yeah.
Like, and then when a guy gets to trying to figure things out, then he's insecure. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What you guys think?
No.
Like she was for the streets. Oh, go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead. She did. I mean, shit. You don't ask me if you don't want the fucking truth. She looked like your run of the mills hood rat. Like she had on the hood rat.
I'm trying to give her a pass.
No,
she looked
nigga,
young.
it just is what it is. What you want? She looked like she for the streets. Dude, that's another thing. Guys have to learn the markings and the packaging of hood rats. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to say that every woman who looks like a hood rat is necessarily a hood rat, but like Tariq Nasheed, when he's talking about the white supremacists, you can have a suspected hood rat. You understand what I'm saying? And your antennas should go up. You should, when you see certain things, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just her whole vibe, just the way, like, why are you talking to this random stranger so freely about your sexual dealings? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? It just, the way she comports herself, the way she put herself together, whatever the case may be, like, I always tell my homies, hey, you do what you want. certain women that I see them with, just the way they comport themselves, I wouldn't piss on them. I wouldn't piss on them if they was on fire. But these niggas be trying to marry him. I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this chick just looked like the typical hood rat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not surprised by anything that came out of her mouth. Go ahead.
It's safe to say that Diamond the Body is a blatant 304, and this is a covert 304.
My God, not even that covert. She don't look that far off from Diamond the Body, but Diamond the Body is out there. You can look at her. She looked like a damn walking STD. Nigga, I don't know why. What was the appeal? This nigga is trying to get with her, huh?
Ass.
Everybody got an ass.
Yeah, but it's still something
Niggas need
that's
to start learning to have
standards,
man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
What?
No, I'm saying you're right. They have to have standards, but they're persuaded by ass. That's why a lot of these dudes are having sex with punks.
The issue is a lot. Shit.
What the hell wrong with you niggas? You got damn Eddie Winslow running around banging this damn whatever the hell it is. You understand what I'm saying? Like, no standards, my nigga. Like, yo, back in the days, it used to be like, okay, you need to be a female, like from birth, nigga. What is wrong with you niggas? If it looks close enough, you're like, I'll fuck. No. Shit.
The problem is, and this has been a big issue, is men do not. Well, no. This is a broad stroke that I can paint. Yeah.
Okay.
Brothers, this is a PSA.
Okay.
I don't care if you listen to you're 13 years old. I don't care if you're 60 years old. If you're still alive, damn it, you can intake this information. Listen to me. It doesn't matter how much you grow physically. You're working out, you're taking care of your body, you're treating your temple right. Doesn't matter how much you grow mentally. You're reading good books, you're educated, you've been to some classy place, what have you. Even spiritually.
Yeah.
You're deep whenever you practice. You need to take it upon yourself to grow sexually. And I'm not talking about what you do in the bedroom.
Very good
I don't mean about all your different your moves or whatever you do, or your little tactics, or how you talk to the opposite sex. You need to develop some sexual discipline.
Mm-hmm.
There is a plethora, and I don't think it can possibly be possible to even underestimate this.
Mm-hmm.
There is a smorgasbord, myriad dudes that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and they still have the sexual maturity of teenagers.
Very true.
Puberty done came and shot you in your ass, and your nuts dropped, your voice got deeper, you got some armpit hair, you finally started to get some little chin fuzz popping out, some mustaches or what have you. You hit a growth spurt, you got hair on your legs and your arms and all that other nonsense, hair on your nuts and everything else. You did all that. You got some semen in your testicles. You had a little nocturnal emission, all the stuff that comes with puberty. And that is as far as your sexual maturity got.
Yeah.
You still have the mind frame of children when it comes to sex.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of that, a lot of you all have been getting L's left and right because of that. Some of y'all got children with women you have no business having them with because you lack sexual maturity.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you all right now are victims of scares. Broads are extorting you for abortion money and everything else because you know damn well that there's probably a good chance that you did get her pregnant because you had no sexual discipline.
We need to do a whole
You know
show.
how to leave those women alone? Jesus Christ.
We need to do a whole
You know
show.
how to leave the wrong
Maybe a
women
series.
alone?
Maybe a
You
series.
can't bother to use... Shoot, Lord, we need to do a whole PowerPoint presentation. We need to get a TED Talk. God. Y'all keep taking L's because of it.
And they make
A
no
lot
changes.
of you all, your dick is your biggest op. And to be perfectly honest, if Lorena Bobbitt would have come along with a knife and chop it off, she'd actually be doing you a kindness.
I'm just saying.
And that sounds like I'm being extra, but if you think about some of your lives, I'm not putting nothing extra on it.
Yeah.
Some of you all, if you had no dick, your life would improve exponentially because for once you wouldn't have to worry about that damn thing, and there's something that happens when it's free to do what it wants to do. And I'm saying this, and I'm not laughing. It's funny, but I'm not laughing because in my mind, I'm actually thinking of a couple people I know where I'm like, nigga, if you were born like a Ken doll, your life would be perfect. I know times, I know dates, I know situations, I know names. I could get gully with it if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
Y'all need
That's
to
real
find a
shit.
way to get some maturity in your system, get some discipline about you. A
Yeah.
lot of stuff that we talked about tonight, this dude case this man was ready to mess his whole career up, mess his whole life up dealing with this broad because no dick discipline. Fellas, tighten up. To whom much is given, much is required. If you have the Johnson, you are obligated to take responsibility of it. You have that.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to be a force for good in your own life, first and foremost, than everybody else's. Don't go out here racking up baby mamas or racking up child support payments and children that you barely even know, that you can't even probably invest into, or that you have negative attachments to because you have no discipline. Don't worry about her. Yes, it takes two. But we can only control one thing, one person in life, and that's us. Everybody else is a player, is a character on the game board. There's only one piece that you can move, and it's yourself. So damn it, move yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, Major, watch how you park, man. You all my space, bro. That's why I don't like big body cars now. Let me park my Escalade prop to the side.
Hey, man. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Buick owners.
What you got,
I want to share these two videos before we get up out of here.
Go for it.
All right, so here we go before we get into our crown check tonight. Just to really elaborate on what Major and Bobby's been saying. All right.
I went to one of these little like foreign countries and shit, and when I tell you, I fucked 13 bitches in one day.
It should have been me.
When I tell you I was back to back, like I would just walk out of my resort and I'll meet a new chick, and you know what I'm saying, and we'll just start vibing or just start talking, go for some drinks and shit. I'm just like, damn, like I'm about to go for the 6th nut in like 2 hours. Like what the fuck is going on?
I'm tired,
When you're going through that whole phase, it's like you kind of have an addiction to the sex, and it's like it's a payback. It's like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, I'm mad about this bitch, so ooh, me fucking this bitch, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna take the pain away. It don't take the pain away, I'm gonna keep it real. It goes away for the moment, but once you bust that nut, the whole phase can cost you, because I done seen some bitches get pregnant during the whole phase. I done seen some niggas get a baby. Fuck, damn, I forgot about that. Alright, I was one of the niggas who caught a baby. I actually caught 3 babies during my whole phase. Fuck them kids. I was dealing with a little heartbreak, you know what I'm saying? When I was...
All right, and then this video right here.
Mm-hmm. I accidentally shared my last name with someone who belonged to the streets.
All right.
Oh God, here we go, nigga. No, dumb nigga, you married her. You dig? And this is the thing, man. We get on women a lot about not facing reality. Nigga, this first little nigga, it was just hard to listen to. I can't listen to people who speak that stupid. People who just talk that stupid, I can't listen to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga, I bust, you know, all these bitches, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? I bust all them nuts, man. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Stop. Just stop. I can feel my brain cells falling out as you speak. Nigga, I just can't tolerate niggas who talk that stupid. Jesus Christ. And he's talking about it like it's a flex, and it's not. The second nigga too, like neither one of these guys are living in reality. That first dude is moving like a plantation buck. That nigga is moving like a modern day plantation buck. I fucked 13 bitches in one day, my nigga. Yeah. As I always say about the women, be very mindful of women who refer to men in general as niggas. Be very mindful in the same spirit of men who talk about women generally as bitches. Be very mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? It says a lot about the type of person that you're listening to before they even get into the substance of the bile that's most likely to come out of their fucking mouth. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be very, very cautious about people like that, because they're already telling you at the door they don't have a lot of regard for the opposite gender. You dig? And you actually don't have a lot of regard for yourself, dumb nigga, if you run around here banging 13 women in a day and then running online talking about it like it's some kind of flex. I'm just saying. And then the next nigga, oh, I accidentally shared my last name. Nigga, how the fuck you accidentally marry somebody, you goofy nigga? No, it don't work like that. And then you still not even accepting the fact of what you did. You married this person, bruh. You're supposed to, as a man, make a logical decision that this person is worthy of your provision and protection and love and so forth and so on. There should be a series of things that you're looking for because you're valuable, and therefore you're looking for value in this other person. Because you guys are supposed to match levels, right? You accidentally gave your last name to somebody that's married to the streets. Somebody need to slap that dumb nigga. That's just not how we move. You know what I'm saying? We just don't move like that. And brothers, we have to start seeing things for what they are. If we're going to fix anything, the first step is realizing what the problem is. You understand what I'm saying? You're choosing these low-level birds that are for the streets. You're choosing them. And then you marry them? You end up marrying one? There were no signs? Nigga, stop. I'll park the Chevy right there. What you got, Bobby?
Well, I want to say real quick that he's very lucky that he's able to talk about his situation on a podcast and not behind bars. Because a lot of times, a lot of guys marry women for the streets, and their antics, if you're saying she was for the streets and you married her, her antics probably would have sent you in a rage.
Facts.
That probably would have been to the point of no return. So it goes back to the whole topic of tonight, fatal attraction. Marrying the wrong person can really send you down the wrong path. That's why we said avoiding the wrongs. All right, go ahead, Bobby.
No, I mean that's just it. It's disgusting, and I pointed out how the conditions in which you have children and raise them and can affect how your children turn out. How much would you like to bet? It's not foolproof, could be wrong, but how much would you like to bet that he grew up and was raised by parents or a parent who had that kind of mentality? That same lack of discipline. Or maybe that's what was going on. Maybe he was a lust baby. It wasn't planned. Nothing going on. But his parents met up. There's too much Henny in their system, too much weed in their system, whatever the case was. And they just got to it like animals and rabbits, and it was just a one-night stand. And now that's it. Nothing after the fact. That's how he came into this world. And now that's how he's moving and operating. That's his base programming. I'm just saying it's these activities that we take on, that we engage in as adults. Some of us don't have the mindset of adults. It's all well and good, and it's easy to say, oh, it's just, it's a victimless crime, or if I want to do this, it's fine. My body, my choice. I can lay down with her, I can lay down with him. It's no big deal. You try to police me, I can do what I want to. I'm gonna go. Stop dick policing. Stop coochie policing. Okay. Now you got little whatever his name is out here talk about how he's running through 13 girls in a foreign country. Oh, and he forgot he has 3 babies. He's one of the same niggas he's talking about.
His name is Gucci Third Leg.
Jesus.
Oh, that's that porn nigga.
Nigerian dude.
Yeah, Nigerian.
He's Nigerian too. That's enough.
Yeah, I think.
Ain't that the one that's supposedly passing out? No, he's I think I heard he does porn or something like that. Like
herbs.
Yeah.
Supposedly he passing out. He passed out the gift that keeps on giving too.
That's what they say.
Yeah, because I think he was. Right. I think he affiliated with one of his interactions with Sexy Red. I think he had an interaction with Sexy Red, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I saw someone dropped a list and I read through it, and who knows what it is. But
wow.
Now, Imagine you his mother and or father. Ain't that a wonderful? Ain't that a great legacy?
His
Congratulations.
parents must be so proud. Jesus Christ.
Imagine if your influence was the foundation upon which that was built. Awesome. See, it's always a victimless crime until it's not.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Facts.
Now, this is why, again, you need to be using this. Stop thinking in the moment. Get beyond the moment. Yes, live in the present. Be fully in the present. Absolutely. Enjoy it. You have this moment right now. You're never going to get it again. Make the most of it. Absolutely. 199%. But that doesn't mean you be reckless and throw all caution to the wind.
Facts.
You're living in today, but not for today. You have to anticipate now. Of course, it's not a given. None of us are promised to see tomorrow. But you have to live in mind with the fact that if I die today, then everything I did is all well and good. But if tomorrow comes, whatever I did today, I'm going to have to live with the consequence of tomorrow, good or bad or in between.
Actions have consequences.
So if you do some heinous, crazy, foul stuff today and you drop down dead, well, I suppose it's all well and good for you then. But if tomorrow rolls around, damn, I'm not dead yet. This is going to be a tough one.
Well,
you live in today, but you need to keep your mind in the future.
Yeah.
If you only think today, you're guaranteeing that you're going to take L's nonstop, because you live in a world where there are people that don't just think for tomorrow. They're thinking years in the future. They're thinking decades in the future. We are living right now today. Look at what you're wearing. Look at what we're on. We're on computers. We're on the internet. We have all kind of technology right now. We are living in and among things that people were thinking about a century ago, if not more. We're living today in the present where some people were already there in the future. And if you're not thinking the same way, you're behind the 8 ball. You're a slave to everybody else that's thinking ahead of you.
Exactly.
Well said.
Well said. All right. With that being said, I do want to play this video before getting into Crown Check, tonight's Crown Check, just to give everybody a heads up. All right. So you ladies pay attention to this.
For this news, it is now illegal to go through your husband's phone. And this is for every ear that can hear me. This is not just a Texas issue. This is also a federal crime. The Federal Wiretap Act states it is unlawful to intercept any wire, oral, or electronic communication. It is also unlawful to disclose the contents of the wire, oral, or electronic communication. Y'all know what's considered electronic communication? Text messages, emails, DMs. I was in court waiting on my turn, watching another hearing before me. It was a divorce case and the wife was on the stand talking about adultery. Her attorney then started the process of admitting text messages into evidence that showed the husband was talking to this woman and it was very inappropriate. The text messages 100% proved husband was cheating. There was photos, there was conversations about the other night. All of a sudden, husband lawyer jumps up and says, Your Honor, I think you need to admonish the witness about her Fifth Amendment right to self-incrimination because she's about to tell on herself and admit to a crime. The judge then proceeds to tell her that how she came about getting those text messages out of her husband's phone is potentially a violation of the Texas Wiretap Act and the Federal Wiretap Act. He looks up at her lawyer and says, Counsel, the fact that you're in possession of unlawful potential wiretap material incriminates you as well. The judge did a quick recess so everyone could go consult with criminal law attorneys. Please, this hurts my heart to deliver this news. It is now illegal to go through your husband's.
So I just wanted to show that for all the women out there tonight, just to keep that in thought. And we're going into our Crown Check for tonight.
Shut your mouth to keep on talking.
Oh man, I messed that up. Let me bring that back. Crown Check for tonight. All right, definitely goes out to the sister. I think it was one of you guys. I don't know if it was Major or Bobby Drake.
That was me.
That was you. Okay, so yes, introduce her tonight. Major, for our lovely Crown Check woman of the night, Miss Tony Vaz.
Oh,
Hollywood's first black stunt woman, dies at 109. If you guys don't know how iconic this lady is, guess what? Tony Vaz is a pioneer stunt woman and actress who created the NAACP Image Award, promoting the work of Black artists and entertainers after growing fed up with the studio and television networks that treated Black people as a punchline or an afterthought. She died October 4th at a retirement home in Los Angeles. Shout out to this sister, all the Academy Awards behind her for doing what she does. She also stated in the 60s, I was a Black woman who became part of the world in an industry not of my making. I made my way as an actress, stunt woman, and had a vision of how I might help others. I didn't think about how my work for the NAACP Image Awards might influence generations, but I did it. I also didn't think of where my life would end up. Now I'm grateful for a place where I belong. All right, so shout out to that queen, and I hand it over to you, Major. And y'all close this out tonight.
Yes. Shout out to that queen, our sister, our queen mother, who went out of her way to make sure that Black representation in film was celebrated and acknowledged. Respect and honor to her, and respect and honor to all you wonderful people out there watching, brothers and sisters alike. Listen, the message of this show tonight and the importance of it cannot be understated. You know, if you're out here dealing with some thug for life ass, yo, my nigga, I'm gonna kill me a bitch ass. You're dealing with them kind of people, you know what I'm saying? You need to fall back. That's a very dangerous situation. You don't want to be around anybody like that. You got to play the long game. You got to think about how this person is going to impact your life, what they may potentially teach your children, and whether or not they're going to put you in danger. Sometimes they may not do something to you directly, but the type of life that they're living may bring trouble to your doorstep. It has happened a good number of times. You got to do the proper vetting, and you got to get these toxic ass, dangerous people out of your space, because it's bad for your energy, it's bad for your overall surroundings, and it's bad for your life. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I've seen it happen personally. I've talked a number of times about people I've known personally who've been affected by things like this, and I don't want to see it continually happen to y'all out there. You know what I'm saying? You find a good quality, decent person, settle down, make it happen, make something happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of seeing people out here, you know, got these people hanging on a string, you know, playing with them, bullshitting, whatever, you know, getting people to run around. You know, that ain't it. Especially if you find somebody who's a sound mind and body that's ready to put it together and do something that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I really, really want to see people stop inviting toxicity into your lives. You know what I'm saying? Just stop, because it ain't going nowhere. It ain't it. And most of y'all too goddamn old to be doing that anyway. You should know better at this point. But apparently I still have to say it, so I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? Let's be safe. Let's have these type of relationships. Safe, strong, and consistent. Let's work towards that. I'll park the Chevy.
Well said. Drake, take us out.
People, do the due diligence. It is 2024. We're way too long in the tooth, way too far in the game to still be making some of the mistakes that we're making, the bad choices, and just having the absence of mind in a lot of our interactions. Learn to compartmentalize your brain. It's good to have the butterflies in your chest. It's good to feel the little floaties, the warmth, get dizzy when you think about them, and just, it's great. Realistically speaking, it really is great. Those are things that come with love, romance, and caring about someone else. It's part of the package, and you should enjoy it. But don't completely lose yourself in the process and forget to do your due diligence. All right? It's not enough to just look at the superficial things. That superficial stuff is going to change. What's their favorite color? Purple. Okay, great. It's probably going to change in several years. Or they might get another one to go along with it. That's fine. That's great. That's not important. What's more important are, do you all share values?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the same moral upbringing? Were you raised similar fashions, or were you raised differently? Do you see certain key issues the same? All right? What is their character like? Are they in support of lying and liars? Do they tell lies themselves? Doesn't matter who it's to. Have they displayed evidence that this person is a liar, that they can cheat, or that they're dishonest? Because all fun and games until you're the person that's lying and being dishonest and cheating on and with. Now all of a sudden it's a problem, but when it was somebody else, you were cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Start looking at these things. How do they treat other people? How do they treat their superiors? How do they treat their inferiors? How do they treat their family members? Are they kind to children? Are they kind to animals? These different things and a whole bunch of other questions you need to ask and actually observe and look for. You don't have to necessarily test anybody, but when you're spending time with them and you're listening and you're observing, make sure you're observing. Don't focus on, wow, he's got some beautiful teeth. Yeah, he got some beautiful teeth. Is he telling some nasty ass lies about those beautiful teeth?
Mm-hmm.
Don't just worry about, damn, yeah, Shawty got them yams. I'm trying to, sweet potato. Don't worry about all that. The yams will come, brother. Thanksgiving is coming. The yams will come. You need to worry about, is she encouraging? Does she support you? When other dudes are trying to shoot their shot, or when they're trying to flirt with her, or when they're making eyes at her, is she shutting it down ASAP, or is she entertaining it?
Yeah.
You need to worry about these other things that you can observe and see with your own two eyes and hear with your two ears. Because those are the things that are going to matter, that's going to make a difference. And those are the things that's going to make and break you. And it's not just those things, but you need to listen and pay attention and see if this person that I am interested in, that I want to take it to the next level with, am I seeing things that are indications that this is going to be a green flag, that boy good, or a red flag, danger, Will Robinson? Now, unfortunately, some people are victims of circumstance and they really had no possible chance of knowing that the other person really did pull the wool over their eyes, really had them going, nothing that could have been done. That is true in some cases. The vast, overwhelming majority of the time, that is not the case. Everybody is not a master supermind, super villain. That's a level 10 sociopath that's able to perfectly compartmentalize their behavior and be a robot with you and Mr. Hyde over here. That's not how human beings are. We live whole, complete lives, and no matter how much we try to hide and compartmentalize and throw dirt on stuff and cover things up, things are going to poke through because that's how we are. That's who we are. We were created to be who we are. So if you got a dog, they're going to start barking at somewhere. They're going to start scratching them fleas off. All right? Trust the process. Do the due diligence. Believe what you see. Believe what you hear. Stop trying to make excuses. Trust your senses. All right? Thanks for rocking with us for yet another week. We got more good stuff rolling for y'all next week. Same time, same place. Meanwhile, you know what I'm going to advise you to do. Go ahead and hit like, share this episode, subscribe. Make sure you click that little bell icon at the top. We are not going to bombard your notifications, but when we go live to do our thing, you will be the first to know about it. And of course, we want y'all to rock with us in the comments. We have regular people that interact with us on the show. We respond. We put your comments up on air. But also, we do respond to questions and feedback, and we welcome input as well. Catch y'all next week, same time, same place, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's yours, Anthony Malcolm, Major Gage, Bobby Drake. We are Manversations 2020. God bless.
Yeah. All right.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manversations 2020.
Manversations.